Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna press it. Okay, now I'm live. Yeah, actually, oh no, don't worry, I'll do it. Yeah, yeah, don't worry. Okay. Let me just press this live. Okay. Oops. Oh, someone's here already. Already. Hi. One second, guys. I'm just gonna go live on Instagram as well, so then a bunch of people can see me. Okay, awesome. Welcome. Welcome to my live stream. Thank you so much for everyone that has joined so far. Awesome. You guys are like right on time. So that's awesome. Hi, Instagram. I'm also live streaming to my YouTube channel. So I have like two screens open. So if I'm like looking to either screen, then that's why. But yeah, you are welcome to either join on Instagram or YouTube, whatever works for you. But I'm just gonna respond to my YouTube followers. So yeah. Okay, we're gonna get started in like 2 minutes, but we're just gonna hang out for a bit. So tell me how your day is going, guys. Let me know in the chat. It is Sunday. What's everyone up to today? Does anyone have any plans? I'm going to Center Island in Toronto later, so that's cool. But what about you guys? Hey, Cecilia, thanks for joining. Awesome. And hi, guys, if you're on Instagram, thank you for joining as well. I see you. Okay, perfect. This is the highlight of my day. So excited. Aw, thank you so much, King. That's so nice. Okay, that's awesome. That's everything I want to hear. All right, are you guys excited for this announcement? I think you are going to be blown away, but also pretty excited. So I'm excited to tell you all about it. We're gonna get started in like 1 minute, just in case people are late. So yeah, just bear with me for like one more minute, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm probably gonna finish one of the books I've been reading. Oh, that's so funny, Sabrina. What are you reading? Right now, I am reading a book by Tomi Adeyemi. It's called Children of Blood and Bone. I don't know if any of you have heard of it before, but it's really good. Oh, someone else joined. Hi. Okay, so 1 minute has passed, and we're gonna go ahead and get started now. So, thank you for all for joining. I'm really happy you're here, and you are probably wondering what this live stream is all about. I was pretty ambiguous in my little message, if you saw it on like Instagram or if you saw it on YouTube, but I just called this event the Crystal Chronicles Reinvented, and I'm sure you are probably wondering what that means, but I will explain that all. So, pretty much what I have decided to do with my series is I've decided that I'm actually going to be re releasing new editions of my first and my second book. So, what the heck does that mean? Pretty much, if you know me at all, or if you have heard me talk about my books, maybe I visited your school, or if you know me from YouTube, you guys probably know that I wrote my book series, so the first book of the Crystal Chronicles, when I was very young. I actually wrote the bulk of the manuscript when I was in grade 5 and 6. So ages 11 and 12. And that is very young. Like, I'm sure a lot of you are probably horrified if like people started reading your work from, when you were so much younger. And what I've decided to do is that I've decided to basically rewrite my first two books to make it so much better because obviously my writing has improved so much over the years. Like, I obviously write much better than I did when I was like, in grade 6, 7, 8. So I really want that to come through in my book series, especially because my book series is ongoing. There are 5 books. So I really want them to be the best they possibly can. And I think that means going back and just editing, making the story stronger, making the characters stronger, adding more diversity, just all of those sorts of things. Pretty much what I am doing is I am just making books 1 and 2 so much better. So nothing about the story is going to change. It's still going to be the same story, same characters, same title. So the Crystal Chronicles. I am just literally going to be making the writing better so that, it's just a better story for everyone who wants to read it. And that is pretty much the announcement that I wanted to tell you all about. So, books 1 and 2 are going to be re released. I am going to work on them as fast as I can. I am going to re release them. And it's also going to have all new covers. So, I'm going to redo my first and my second cover. And then I am, of course, going to continue with my third, fourth, and fifth book. So I am trying to write and edit the first 2 books as fast as possible. And the third book, so basically all 3 books are going to be coming out in 2021. So I'm going to try really hard to release them all very quickly, one after another. So, yeah, you don't have to wait long for the third book. So, if you are a fan of my series already, I know you've been waiting for my third book. Don't worry, my third book is still coming. It's still going to come out in 2021. The only thing that's different is that I'm also going to be re releasing books 1 and 2 at the same time. So it's just all so much better. And I think you're really going to love the change. And someone asks, are you still going to be selling original copies? And yes, I am. If you still want original copies, you can, of course, still get one. You can buy one from me. You can buy one even when the new editions come out. So if you want to buy the original copies at any point, you still can, of course. So, yes, hopefully that answers your question. And of course, you can always buy the original copies of my book. Right now, they're still on sale. You can still buy them from stores and they will always remain for sale. So, thank you for asking that. Yes, you could still get the original copy. And if you're interested in getting the new edition, you can, of course, do that as well. And it's going to be so much better, you guys. I have so many ideas on how to make the story a bit stronger. And I think it's just going to be really awesome. And I'm excited for you to see it. So that brings me to the next thing I want to talk about. And that is how to become an ARC reader for my book series. Now, some of you may not be aware like what an ARC reader is. So I'm going to explain it if you don't know. But pretty much what an ARC reader stands for is Advanced Reader Copy. And what this means is that you get a free book before it is released to the public in exchange for posting an honest review about the book on platforms like Amazon or iBooks, or you can make a social media post about the book to any social media platform: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, literally whatever social media you have, you can post to there. Now, being an ARC reader does not mean that I'm forcing you to talk really highly about the book. Being an ARC reader just means that in exchange for your book, you just have to post your honest thoughts in either a review or a social media post. So I am definitely not forcing anyone to give me glowing reviews. It's really just whatever you truly think of the book. If you love it, that's amazing. If you don't like it, that is totally okay. And you can just share your true opinions about it. And that is what today's live stream is really going to be about. I'm also going to be reading the first chapter of the new edition of my first book. But before we get to that, I'm just going to explain how to become an ARC reader if you're interested. So, when you become an ARC reader, it's super easy. You just really have to sign up and let me know if you want to become an ARC reader. I have a Google form in the description box of this live stream. So if you click the link in the YouTube video of this live stream, it will bring you to like a Google form. And then that has all of the information that you need on how to become an ARC reader. Yeah, like I said, it's not hard. You just sign up, and pretty much if you would like to become an ARC reader, you can. There's no like special requirements. If you want to do it, you can. And like I said, you will be getting a free copy of my book. This will probably be a free digital copy. So you will probably be getting a free ebook. However, ARC readers are just a group of my fans. So, like fans from all over the world, not just Canada and the US. And I also run prizes and giveaways for my ARC readers. So, I'll give away free merchandise like pens, t shirts, gift cards. I also will be giving away free physical copies of my book. So, it's totally possible to win a softcover copy of any of my books. So pretty much what I'm saying is if you want to be an ARC reader, there is a bunch of free stuff that you can win. But everybody for sure will be getting a free ebook of the Crystal Chronicles. So hopefully that makes sense to all of you. I know it can be kind of confusing if you haven't heard of an ARC reader before, but it's basically just a group of fans that work with the author behind the scenes to help out the release of a book. And it's really fun. You get to meet other people who like reading the same books as you. And yeah, it's just a really interesting experience. So if you would like to be an ARC reader, again, all you have to do is click the Google form link in the description box of this YouTube video. If you're on Instagram, I will be posting the Google form link in my bio after the live stream. So you can join there. And then if you really do not have a Google Mail account, then you can just message me privately on Instagram or YouTube. And then I will reach out to you and I'll tell you a bit about how you can become an ARC reader and all of that stuff. By the way, if I've already reached out to you about being an ARC reader, you don't have to fill out the form. Thank you so much, Cecilia, for asking that question. I know a few of you are watching right now, and I've already messaged you about becoming an ARC reader. So if I've messaged you, you do not need to fill out the form. If I've messaged you, that means that I know you are a big fan. I've seen you over the years supporting me, and I've like handpicked you. Basically, I've like purposely chosen you guys. So yeah, if you have already spoken with me about being an ARC reader, you do not need to fill out the form because I already got all your information. So don't worry about it. The form is just for people who I haven't spoken with and who maybe want to be a part of this. So yeah, I'm really excited. It's going to be super fun. Lots of great prizes, really interesting. And yeah, you will all get the book ahead of time and you can tell me what you think about it. So hopefully that makes sense. If you are really confused or if I'm saying something that just doesn't make sense to you, just shoot me a DM and I will answer any questions. So thank you for listening to me talk about that for about 10 minutes. But now I'm actually going to read the first chapter of the Crystal Chronicles. So this is the first chapter of the new edition. So not the original copy. This is just like what's going to be released in the coming months. So, like I said, same story, same characters. It's still Alyssa, and yeah, it's just better writing, basically. So hopefully that makes sense to you. And now I'm going to switch over to start reading. I'm going to read the first like 15 pages as like a little teaser. And at the end or throughout this whole thing, you can tell me your honest thoughts. You can tell me if you like it, if you hate it. Feel free to be honest. Honestly, guys, like I love writing for you, for my fans, for people who support me. So if you don't like something, then that's really important to me. So if my readers don't like something, I will definitely change it. So feel free to tell me what you think at any point throughout this live stream. So I'm going to turn to my screen here so I can read. If you have to leave, by the way, at any point, that's totally fine. I'm going to keep this live stream up on my YouTube channel and also on my Instagram forever. So you can watch it back if you really want to listen to me read or if you just need to leave or something. Yeah, this will stay on both of my social medias like forever. Anyways, I just wanted to make that clear just in case anyone is like super nervous or like needs to leave. Yeah, you can leave. You're not going to miss anything. I will keep this up to watch later. Oh, and someone said, "You are so nice." Oh, thank you. You guys are so nice too. You're the best. I love my readers. Okay, I'm going to flip over here, so hopefully it's not too awkward. I just have to read off of this screen. So stay with me here. I'm just gonna adjust my Instagram live here so you guys can see me as well. Um, yeah, great. So yeah, I'm gonna start reading now, and yeah, we'll go from there. I always feel so awkward about me reading because I have to listen to my voice for like 30 minutes. But I'm gonna take some water before I start. Okay, guys, you are literally the first people to hear about this chapter, so hopefully you like it. I just see a question that came in. Sabrina asked, "Is this the same chapter you read last live stream? I've been really wanting to hear it again." And that's a good question, Sabrina. This actually isn't the chapter that I read in my last live stream. So in the last live stream that's up on my YouTube channel, I read the first chapter to my third book. So the book where Alyssa and the others go to Bermuda to look for the water crystal. That's the chapter that I read. And that chapter, by the way, is not changing. It's still going to stay the same. So if you want to hear it again, you can check out my last live stream. And yeah, maybe I can post the third chapter online or something so you can read it again if you want. But the chapter that I'm reading now is the first chapter from the new edition of the Crystal Chronicles. So the very first book. I know that's confusing, but this is book one, and then last time was book three. So yeah. But thank you for asking that, just in case anybody else was confused about that. But yeah, okay, so I'm gonna start now. Hopefully you can all hear me okay. If you can't hear me okay, just type in the chat. Okay, thank you. Okay, awesome. Cool. All right. So, chapter one of the first book is in Alyssa's point of view, just like it usually is. So, just important to point out. All right. Chapter one. At 3 in the morning, on a muggy night in late August, I burned down my family's small bungalow on 57 Crawford Street. I am 8 years old again, sitting up in bed and sweating my way through a late Ontario summer heat wave. My sweaty back sticks to the plastic of my headboard. The chirping of summer crickets echoes up from our quiet cul de sac, keeping me company. My parents never turn on the air conditioning because it's too expensive, which makes it hard to fall asleep on humid nights like this. My ceiling fan does little to cool me down, spinning more hot air through my pink room. Pale moonlight filters in through my open window, reminding me how late it is. The blue alarm clock on my bedside table reads 2:55 a.m. in big, bold letters. Mom would be so mad if she knew I was up this late. Clearly, the heat isn't just keeping me up. Mom and dad are both awake, arguing in the next room over. My parents argue a lot at night when they think I'm asleep, but the walls in our house are so thin that I can always hear every word. I never say anything because I don't want mom to yell at me, but I wish they wouldn't fight so much. I peel myself off my headboard, kick off my Disney princess blanket, and curl onto my side to try and get to sleep. I hate when they fight. My best friend Juliana's parents never fight. Why can't we be like her family? I squint up at my ceiling, trying to focus on the drone of the fan, but it does little to block out their voices. It's ridiculous that we don't have a car. Everyone in Alliston has a car. Dad's low voice floats through the wall, rising with every word. Dad smiles a lot and almost never yells, but when he does, it's scary. You can get to work on the bus, Stephen. Mom's angry voice cuts through the humid air like a knife. Unlike Dad, Mom yells a lot and always sounds mad at me, even when she talks quietly. It's not the time of year to buy a car. Our rent goes up next month, and I need to get Alyssa a new uniform for the school year. She's already outgrown her old one. I hold my breath, my stomach clenching like I've swallowed something heavy. I shouldn't have asked for a new uniform. Am I the reason they're fighting? We can afford a used car. Dad sounds tired. It'll be nice for the winter. We can't afford a car. Mom slams her closet door. I would know, Stephen. I'd take care of the rent payments, the groceries. You'll just have to take the bus. My insides twist painfully. Why can't she be nicer to Dad? They always argue about money, especially at the start of the new school year. Mom always says money is important because it helps us look normal to other people in Alliston. But I don't care how we look. I just want them to love each other the way other parents do. Then we can be a real family. Fine. Dad's voice is shaking. Have it your way, Sienna, like always. I'm just trying to take care of our family. Our daughter. You know what she could be. We have to fit in. She sounds more upset than I've ever heard her. I am so tired of their fighting. All they ever do is yell at each other. They fight so much that they never let my friends sleep over. I hate this. I clench my bed sheets in between my hands as the thoughts repeat in my mind. Hot tears spring to my eyes, and I blink them away as frustration surges inside of me. I want to be normal. As the thought forms, their arguing voices descend into a strange sort of silence, like I put in earplugs. Suddenly, all I can hear are my thoughts, growing louder and louder like the beat of a drum. I am sick of their fighting. No more fighting. Anger sparks inside of my chest like a fire. I want to scream, pick myself up out of bed, and tell them to stop, but my legs don't move. Instead, a tingling feeling blooms at the very top of my toes, like my feet have fallen asleep. I wiggle my toes, but the tingling sensation spreads up my legs. My arms twitch as the feeling washes through my upper body. I suddenly feel incredibly hot, and my breath comes out in short gasps. Beads of sweat drip down my eyebrows as my heart thuds hard against my chest. What's happening? Daddy! Daddy! I open my mouth to call for him just as an excruciating pain explodes at the base of my skull, like someone has taken a hammer to the back of my head. My head jerks back, slamming hard against the headboard. A scream rips from my throat as pain shoots up my head and behind my eyes, staining my vision red. I squeeze my eyes shut as the pain settles into a throbbing ache, stars exploding behind my closed eyelids. Swallowing a wave of nausea, my nose crinkles as the thick, tangy scent of smoke fills my nostrils. My eyes fly open, and as I do, my entire body runs cold. A singular long flame, as tall as me, hovers in the very center of my fuzzy purple carpet, spitting orange embers into the air. The long flame hisses at me like a snake. Somewhere in what feels like the far distance, an alarm blares. I barely hear it over the pounding of my heart. Terror courses through every cell in my body. I need to get up, but I feel glued to my bed. I hate fire. Mom never lets me near fire, even for summer bonfires. I need to get up and tell her. She'll know what to do. There is a loud crackle, and the flame multiplies in front of my eyes. The walls light up in a bright orange haze as it spreads across the room like an infectious disease, consuming everything in its path. In seconds, the entire floor is a sea of flame, creeping across the carpet and towards my bed. My throat tightens. I open my mouth to scream for my mom, but no words come out. Not my bed. Please don't come towards my bed. The flames shoot outwards, avoiding my bed like it's fire repellent. Instead, they climb up my pink curtains that frame the open window. The thin fabric descends into a raging fire, and I scramble back towards my headboard as the heat sears my skin. As the curtains burn, the flames claw their way up the wall and towards the ceiling. Alyssa, Mom slams open the door to the bedroom, still in her nightgown and hair rollers. As the door swings open, the fire hisses in response, growing higher and higher until all I can see is the top of her pink rollers. She lets out a scream, louder than the smoke alarm. Mummy, I shout, finally finding my voice. I am shaking so hard that I barely feel warm liquid trickling down my pajama pants. Walk towards me, baby girl. I can't see Mom's face, but her voice sounds calm, even though it trembles. I know better. That's her scared voice. I can't. Her fear triggers my own, and a sob tears from my body. I'm scared. Clouds of thick black smoke billow into the air, and I hear her cough over the hiss of the fire. The fire won't hurt you, she chokes out. Just walk towards me, Alyssa. I stare off the end of my bed into the sea of flames that separate us like a dividing line. The fire would burn me, hurt me. I can't get to her. I open my mouth to explain this, but the words die in my throat as the fire spreads across the whole ceiling with a loud roar. Chunks of ceiling crumble off and tumble to the floor like pieces of torn paper. It avoids falling onto my bed, but I have a feeling that won't last long. More fire flings upwards to meet the ceiling. The top of Mom's rollers disappear from my view, and when her voice cuts through the room, it isn't calm anymore. It's frantic. Walk towards me, Alyssa, she screams. Now! Walk towards me right now! Something in her tone makes me move. As if on autopilot, I swing my legs over the edge of my bed, my eyes burning from the smoke. The fire avoids lighting my bed, but as I face the end of it, the flames tower over me like a great big monster, laughing at me. My entire body shakes as I step off the edge of the bed, standing on the carpet space beside the bed that has been miraculously spared by the blaze. More heat sears my skin as I face the raging fire. Sweat drips out of every pore of my body, mingling with the tears streaming down my face. My heart beats so hard that it feels like it's about to burst from my chest. My feet take a tentative step forward, still wobbling. As I do, my right foot gives out from underneath me, and my left foot slides back. I turn my head towards the side as I topple forward into the flames, the orange haze enveloping me in a blazing embrace. Okay, so that's just like a little chapter break. That was like the first part. I'm just gonna take a sip of water. I always feel so awkward reading my work. Yeah, I don't know if any of you can relate and like hate the sound of your voice, but yeah, that is like the first 6 pages. So I'm just gonna take like a 1 minute break. Okay, I see some other people are joining on YouTube. Hey, Mitra, thank you so much for joining. Yes, thank you so much, King and Cecilia. I'm glad you like it. I know it's kind of hard to hear it just like audibly when I'm reading it. But I will be posting this first chapter online in the coming weeks. So you can also read it like beforehand online and then you can check it out. So yeah, I'm glad you guys like it. Yeah, tell me your honest thoughts because I really care what you guys think. You're honestly like everything. So your opinion means so much. Oh, Sabrina has a question. Okay. Quick question. If we have the digital copy of the original copy, will it get updated to this one when you publish it? That's a great question, Sabrina. So basically, if you have the original copy of both of my books, it will not change when I like re-release it. So yeah, the original copy will just stay the same. Um, yeah. So if you want the new version, you can get it for free if you would like to be an ARC reader, or you can just purchase it. It won't be too expensive. I'm going to make it a bit cheaper this time around, so it'll probably just be like a few dollars if you want to get the ebook. Yeah, or you can get it for free if you want to be an ARC reader. But yes, I hope that answers your question. Hopefully that's not too confusing. So yeah, there'll be like two versions and then this will be like the newer version. But yeah, I will explain more about all of that when it gets closer to the release date. And I'll make it very easy for everyone to get the new edition if they would like the new edition. So yeah, okay, I'm going to keep reading now. If you have more questions, just type them in the chat, and then I can answer all of that at the end. So yeah, now I'm going to read after the chapter break. I'm going to read for a few more minutes. Yeah, feel free to keep this in the background. Demetra says that she's going to get my updated version and then add it to the collection. So yeah, thank you so much. That's awesome. That means the world to me. Okay, so chapter break. I'm going to start reading. So yeah, you can keep this in the background if you want to listen. Okay, I'm gonna read the last sentence, and then like start right after. Okay, so I turn my head towards the side as I topple forward into the flames, the orange haze enveloping me in a blazing embrace. Heart pounding and gasping for air, I jolt awake. My bed sheets are tangled in between my legs and curled inside my sweaty fists. I must have grabbed them in my sleep. I take a shaky breath and unclench my hands. My entire body is freezing, yet sweat drips down my temple like I am still trapped in my burning bedroom. It's just my subconscious torturing me with a nightmare. Again. I slowly sit up in bed, the cream walls of my bedroom shifting back into focus. While I'm back in the familiarity. Fuck, guys, how do you say familiarity? Familiarity. Okay. While I'm back in the familiarity of my bedroom, my now bedroom, not the one from my nightmare, my heart still hammers. My mind knows the nightmare's over, but my body clearly doesn't. I need to calm down. I'm safe. I wipe sleep dust from my eyes, taking a few more deep breaths in through my nose, like mom always says to do when I have the nightmare. Every year, the nightmares get worse around the anniversary of when our old house burned down. My childhood home, the only home where my parents and I ever lived together, destroyed in a matter of 20 minutes. Our lives, everything I'd ever known, destroyed in 20 minutes. The same time it takes to walk to school or take a shower. 20 minutes. Only fire can do something that destructive. The fire department ruled that the fire likely started from a gas leak in the kitchen and spread to my bedroom, cementing my fear of fire that would probably last the rest of my life. But whatever the fire department said, a part of 8-year-old me was certain that I'd started the fire, that the fire started in the middle of my carpet and I was running around with destructive fire powers. As I got older, I started to draw more reasonable conclusions. Maybe I'd started the fire while sleepwalking, and that's why I had such a vivid memory of my carpet catching fire. In the past few years, I'd finally accepted the cold conclusion reached by the fire department, insurance company, and the people in our small town. It was an unfortunate freak accident. There wasn't anything anyone could have done. The fire started in the kitchen and spread to my bedroom. My mom pulled me out of my room and carried me out of the house before anyone could get hurt. I'd hit my head on the nightstand, so I wasn't even conscious for most of the fire. The only thing I remember about that night is my carpet lighting on fire before waking up in the hospital. My mom calls the reoccurring nightmares from that night PTSD, but I just call it embarrassing. I swing my legs over my bed, my bare feet connecting with my beige carpet. My current bedroom holds a single dresser, single bed, and a desk. Even though it's small, I've made it extra cozy, stringing fairy lights and carefully curated Pinterest mood boards on the walls. Sometimes I miss my old princess room. Or maybe what I really miss is my childhood. It burned down with my house, along with my parents' marriage. I don't know what's worse, having the reoccurring nightmare or having to live with mom during the week of August. She always gets extra grumpy this time of year. In a matter of 2 weeks, our house had burned down and my dad had left us, taken off in the middle of the night on the late night bus to Toronto. Mom and I hadn't seen or spoken with him since. I guess he wanted a new life and didn't love my mom anymore. Or me. Every year on my birthday, he sends a Hallmark birthday card in the mail with no return address. It's the only confirmation I have that my dad still exists. This year's birthday card sits unopened on my dresser, tucked under a pile of my Harry Potter books. I stalk over to my dresser, tugging out the generic white envelope. It has absolutely no smell or stamp, nothing that indicates he sent it with love or care. Just my name and small, messy handwriting on the front. I can't even remember his handwriting to know if it's his or not. When I was younger, I used to look forward to the birthday card. I used to stalk the mailbox every year in June, ripping the card open in excitement when it finally arrived. Maybe I'd find a message saying he was coming back to Alliston to come get me. Or maybe he'd say he was sorry for leaving us. Instead, all I received year after year was a 3 sentence birthday greeting written in chicken scratch that read something like, Happy birthday, Alyssa. Can't believe you're 14 now. Love, Dad. Clearly, that's all I meant to him. A quick 3 sentence birthday greeting, hastily mailed to pacify his own guilt. What was he doing right now? Did he have a new wife? A new daughter? Did he ever miss me? Why didn't he take me with him when he left? Did he ever love me at all? Tears sprang to my eyes, and I quickly blinked them away. I've cried over him enough. He's a coward for leaving and doesn't deserve one more second of my energy. Though at this time of year, memories of Dad haunt my thoughts in every waking hour, nightmares in their own right. So this year, I vowed to myself that things would be different. I wouldn't open the birthday card. In fact, I'd throw the stupid card out. I wouldn't give him the power to hurt me all over again and ruin my 15th birthday. Birthday. Yet, when June rolled around, I couldn't find it in me to throw the card out, so it sat unopened for over 2 months. I clenched the small rectangular card in my hand, the paper crunching in between my fists. My hands shake as I drop it back onto the dresser. Maybe I inherited his cowardice. Maybe that's why I can't find it in me to throw out the stupid card. But somehow, even though I hate him, throwing the card out feels like throwing him out for good. And I guess I'm just not ready for that yet. Alyssa, mom's high-pitched voice jolts me out of my thoughts. It's 11:30. Get up. You have work in an hour. The smell of Maxwell coffee wafts through my closed bedroom door, making my stomach flip in hunger. Forget the card. I'll deal with it later. I swing open my closet door, searching for a clean uniform. As I open the door, a pile of folded shirts topple off the top ledge, landing in a crumpled heap by my feet. I let out a sigh, my grip tightening on the door handle. My tiny closet always seems to be overflowing, even though I rarely buy new clothes. After our rental house burned down and Dad left us, Mom decided we had to downsize. We'd moved into a 2 bedroom apartment on Main Street, above Nino's Pizzeria, where I now worked part time. Our apartment always smells like oil and garlic from downstairs, even with Bath and Body Works air freshener. The rent is cheap, which is good for mom, but my room is far too small to ever have friends or guys over. Not that mom would ever let me have friends over, let alone 16-year-old guys. She doesn't even let me have Juliana over, and we've been best friends since we were 6 years old. Mom is unreasonably strict. It sucks, but it's the way she is. The way she's always been. I slam the closet door, searching the room for my Nino's uniform. There it is, on my desk chair. I pull on the clean black uniform, checking my appearance in the mirror hanging on the back door. My purple under eye bags look even more pronounced than normal, and my frizzy hair came out of its bun during the nightmare. I swallow a yawn. I look as disoriented as I feel. I run a brush through my tangled dark hair, trying in vain to do something about my unruly mane. As usual, brushing only made it frizzier, and I smoothed down a few flyaways around my temple, wrestling it back into a messy bun. My iPhone cheerfully buzzes from my dresser, the white home screen flashing with a slew of unchecked iMessages, the way it usually does most mornings. They were probably from Juliana. I press on the most recent message, scanning our private chat. Please come to the party tonight with me, Allie. It's lame if I go alone. Sad face. I blow out a sigh of frustration, my fingers hovering over the keyboard. There is no way mom would ever let me go to a party. Friends, boys, parties, and fun of any kind is strictly forbidden. She's always afraid of something happening to me and gets these awful blotchy stress rashes from worry. I've learned the hard way not to break mom's rules. In grade school, I tried to go on a school field trip without her permission, and she'd barged onto the bus and yelled at me in front of my whole class. The memory of the embarrassment still makes me cringe. There is no way I'm going to any party, not unless I want to be grounded for the entirety of my upcoming 10th grade year. It just isn't worth it. Juliana would have to go to the party without me. My thumb flies across the keyboard, my stomach sinking as I type the response. I can't go, Ju. My mom will literally kill me. Have fun without me. Sad face. I love my mom, but sometimes living under her roof feels like prison. I need to get out. I have to move away. University is still 3 years off, but I've already began researching and looking at different schools. A university in one of the big cities like Toronto or Vancouver sounds nice. The farther away, the better. Alyssa, mom calls. I'm not going to ask you again. Come eat. She's using her annoyed voice, the one that always makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong. If I don't eat something for breakfast before work, I'll never hear the end of it. I'm coming. I hit the send button on my text, then stuff my phone and keys into my back pocket. Whatever. My time to have fun will come soon, preferably in university, many miles away from Alliston, Ontario. I pad down the hallway and into the narrow kitchen, finding the television above the table flicked onto the news station, like it is every morning. Mid morning light filters in through the window blinds, casting bars of sunlight on the gray walls. It looks oddly like prison bars. Mom stands at the counter, stirring something over a steaming stovetop. She pauses to glance at the television. I turn to see what she's looking at. A news reporter is talking about recent forest fires in Australia that have destroyed a huge part of their wildlife. Depressing videos of a raging forest fire flash across the screen, sending goosebumps racing across my arms. I hate fire. Fire burns down houses, forests, and people's childhoods. Fire is the most destructive force on earth, and I never want to go near it ever again. Mom swears at the news in Italian. She never talks about where she grew up, but I can always detect a faint Italian accent mixed with another foreign accent. Middle Eastern, maybe? I've never been able to place the accent, and she's never bothered to name it. Either way, I can tell she's extra annoyed at the TV. She loves animals, so any news about climate change puts her in an even grumpier mood. Morning, honey. She turns her attention back to the stove as I slide into my seat at our wooden kitchen table. I'm making tofu scramble. Sounds good, I say with a yawn. I need to sleep better tonight. I'm working the whole weekend, trying to save up before the school year starts next week. I really want to buy new shoes, maybe even a school uniform. I'm tired of mom sewing my old one for me every time it rips. How'd you sleep? She places a modest helping of tofu scramble in front of me. My mouth waters at the smell, and I hungrily pick up my fork to take a big bite. Mom might be strict, but she's an excellent cook. The only thing I know about her upbringing is that she'd been raised vegan and decided to carry on the tradition with me after dad left. Her tofu scramble is so good that it looks just like real eggs. Good, I lie, pouring myself a full glass of juice. I don't have the heart to tell mom about the reoccurring nightmares. She has so much to worry about already, and she always snaps at me whenever I bring it up. Sometimes it seems like she wants me to forget our house ever burned down at all. Oh, sweetie, not that much juice, she frowns, picking up my full glass and pouring half of it into her own. It's fattening. You want to look good for 10th grade, don't you? My cheeks heat as she places my cup down back on the placemat. I shoot her a look from across the table that she pretends not to notice. I'm not rake thin like my mother, but I like my curves. Guys at school seem to like them too. In fact, the only person who seems to have a problem with the way I look is my mom. What's her problem? Why does she care so much about how I look and what I eat? Does she have to control every single part of my life? Sure, whatever, mom. I swallow a snarky reply, taking a small sip of juice. I don't want to fight with her. Not today. Not this month. Are you excited for school next week? She watches me eat from across the table, wiping sweat from her dark eyebrows. She looks extra tired this morning, which she often does after working a 6-day week of retail. Yeah, I take a bite of tofu. I've been thinking about joining the school newspaper. I hadn't joined any clubs in my freshman year because we could never afford the membership fees. But since I started working at Nino's, I'd saved up some of my own money, my own freedom to do whatever I want, freedom to spend less time at home, away from her. No, she shakes her head. I don't think that's a good idea, Alyssa. It sounds like a lot of extra work, and I won't be able to pick you up if you stay after school late. She looks at me with wide eyes, the same way she looks at me whenever I want to do something she doesn't approve of, which are most things. So I'll walk home, I shrug. You know I don't like you walking home by yourself. She purses her lips together. Something could happen to you. Mom, I'm 16 years old, I say, my shoulders slumping. It's only a 30-minute walk home, and it'll be good practice if I want to get into a journalism program. The mountain of university brochures I keep hidden at the bottom of my desk all say that school clubs look good on university applications, especially for competitive journalism programs. If I want to get out of here, I need to study hard, join clubs, and start saving money early. I want to be on the news like that reporter, talking about important stuff where millions of people can see me while sipping their morning coffee. Maybe one day my dad will see me on the news and regret ever leaving me. I need to be bigger than the man who hurt me, bigger than the small town that raised me. I want to be somebody. About that, mom stands up abruptly, sending her chair flying. She stalks over to the living room and pulls something out of her handbag. We need to talk about that. My fork drops out of my hand, clattering onto my plate as I realize what she's holding. Are those my university brochures? I ask, spinning to face her, that were in the bottom of my desk. Sweat prickles at the back of my neck that isn't just from the humidity. She'd snooped through my stuff. What gave her the right to go into my room? It's private. Did she have any respect for me at all? She sets the brochures in the middle of the table as I stare at her. Stay out of my room! I'm so angry I can barely get the words out. Why are you going through my stuff? Her eyes narrow as she notices the venom in my tone. I'm your mother, Alyssa, she says, very slowly, as if I've forgotten. I'll go into your room if I want to go into your room. Are you insane? I clench my hands to stop them from shaking, but they tremble anyway. I don't want you looking at universities anymore, she says, as she sits back down on the kitchen table. Why not? My voice rises, but I can't help it. Why doesn't she want me looking at universities? Doesn't she see how much I hate this small town? Shouldn't she be happy that I'm thinking about my future? Her entire body is taut with tension, and she looks at me with a funny expression. You know I don't want to stay in Alliston, I continue, desperate to make her understand. And what's the big deal if I look at universities? I have an education fund. Because there is no education fund. Not anymore. I'm sorry. Her voice rises above the drone of the television, bouncing off the walls and slapping me square in the face. What? The entire room stills as I stare at her. Sour bile rises in my throat, and I swallow it before I can throw up on the table. She must be kidding. Maybe I've heard her wrong. She knew I've wanted to go to university ever since grade school. That's why her and dad set up the fund in the first place. I've used it up. Her shoulders hunched towards the table in defeat. I had to use it for rent, for the car, for groceries. She takes a deep, shuddery inhale. It's all gone. Anger surges through me like a poison. I feel all the blood rush to my face as my entire body grows warm. My eyes are swimming with tears, and this time I can't stop them from leaking down my face. How could you be so selfish? The words explode from my mouth before I can stop them. I shoot up from the table like my chair is on fire. It tips to the floor with a loud clatter. How could you do that to me? Are you trying to ruin my life? You know I want to go to university. The energy in the kitchen seems to shift as I try to stop my body from shaking. Oh my god, I'm going to be stuck in this town forever with her. Mom's eyes are wide as she stares up at me. Her pink fingernails clench the edges of the wooden table. Her bottom lip trembles, but when she speaks, her voice is deadly calm. I had to keep a roof over our heads, feed us. Everything I've done, everything I've given up, has been for you, Alyssa. I can barely hear the TV over the blood rushing in my ears. Because of me? Is she serious? That's bullshit. The rest of the kitchen melts away until all I can see is her small, hunched form sitting across from me. We live in this shitty apartment because our house burned down in a freak accident. You work 6 times a week because you didn't go to university. Dad left us because you're a control freak. She makes a small noise at this. It sounds like a sob. I know at once that I've gone too far, but I can't rein in my anger. Not when I've held it in for so long. For years. Everything that's happened to us is because of you. I need to leave this town. I won't be a nobody, Mom. I can't. More hot tears slip down my cheeks like an overflowing fountain. Her body blurs through my tears. As my vision clears, I realize that her face is stark white. Her entire body is shaking, and she looks at me like I'm about to strike her. The look of terror on her face makes me pause for a moment, a clarity cutting through my anger. Why does she look afraid of me? I've never done anything rebellious, much less violent, in my entire life. Is that what you really think of me, Alyssa? She finally speaks very quietly, but her voice is devoid of energy, like a deflated balloon. A controlling nobody that made your father leave? Your father left all on his own. I didn't make him do anything. I swallow a lump that's formed in my throat. I definitely went too far. I should have never mentioned Dad. Talking about him is off limits in this house. My head instinctively turns to the side door, towards the front door. I suddenly can't look at her or answer her question. Not when I've just ruined her only day off for the whole week. But why should I even care? She ruined my entire future. She could have told me if she was having money problems. We could have figured it out. She could have trusted me to figure it out together. Why did she go behind my back this time? Did she want to keep me trapped in this town on purpose? I take a deep breath in through my nose to calm down, but it doesn't help. I want to throw the stupid glass of juice at the wall, but I don't. Anger won't help me. My own money will. My own money will. I'll just have to start building my own college fund. I won't buy new shoes. I'll save every last dollar to get out of this prison. I have to go to work, I mumble, wiping tears from my eyes. You've only eaten a few bites, she says, frowning at my half eaten plate. I'm not hungry. My stomach is suddenly in knots. I'll have to start taking extra shifts at work to start building the fund. I'll talk to my boss about it later today. I grab my wallet off the coffee table, feeling her eyes burn holes into my back. Don't forget to take your headache medication, she says in a chirpy voice, seeming to regain herself. Her bubbly tone sounds creepy in the tense energy of the room. You don't want to get a headache at work? Fine. I stalk over to the kitchen cupboard, undoing the lock and pulling out my prescription pills. Leave it to my mom to keep my own medication locked up in the cupboard. I'm so desperate to get out of this stifling kitchen that I swallow the medication dry, wincing as it scrapes my throat. Dinner is at 7, she says, as I make my way to the front door. She still hasn't moved from her spot at the table. Maybe she really is crazy. Whatever. I shove on my running shoes, slamming the door shut behind me. A weight I didn't know I was carrying seems to drop off my shoulders as I stand at the foot of the stairs that lead down to the pizzeria. Breathing hard, I wiggle out my phone from my jean pocket, pulling up my text conversation with Juliana. My fingers are still shaking with anger as they fly across the keyboard. Never mind you. I'll come tonight. Pick me up at 11. Some of my rage dissipates as I hit the send button, the blue message giving me the small bit of payback I so desperately need. I may not be getting out of this town or this apartment today or even next year, but I'm done with being the good daughter. The girl that misses out on everything normal because of her crazy mother. I'm tired of her control over everything in my life. I need to do something fun, something she'd never let me do. Even if I have to jump out my window and scale down our apartment building, I am going to that party tonight. Okay. um, that is it. I know that was long, so if you're still here and you're still listening, thank you. But yeah, that's the first full chapter of the new edition of my first book. So hopefully you guys like it. Feel free to tell me your thoughts either in the Instagram or YouTube live chat, or you can even DM me privately. Yeah, I hope you guys like it. Again, I will be posting this first chapter online. So if you want to read it again, because I know it's kind of hard to understand when I'm talking, you can read that again. And I know I mess up sometimes because like I get tongue tied. So yeah, you can also read that online very soon. I will announce it on my social media when you can read it. But yes, hopefully you guys liked it. Oh, I have a question. When are you posting it? So I'm going to try to post it actually in the next week or so, and then it'll just be the first chapter. So if you want it, you can just download it onto your computer or phone, and then you can read it that way. But yeah, I'll make a post about it. So if you want to read it, you can. But yeah, very, very soon. So thank you for asking. Someone on Instagram says it was spicy. You know, it was spicy. Yeah, I'm a fan of it. I really like this new chapter. I think it fits the age of the character better. Alyssa's 15. She wants to go to parties. She just wants to like hang out with her friends. So yeah, I feel like it's a good change. But anyways, I'm gonna hang out for like a few more minutes. Basically, I'm gonna hang out here until 2 p.m. So we can either chat about the books or anything, whatever you guys are up to. So yeah, I'm just gonna hang out for a few more minutes. If you're still on Instagram, thank you. I see you guys. Thanks for joining. But Demetra says, I filled out the form and okay, I filled out. Yes, yes, Demi, I will definitely contact you. I'll just like message you privately and we can talk. Okay. Oh, King says, I just want to say you are so inspiring to me with your writing and creating and so much imagery and making it such a realistic setting. Oh, thank you so much, King. That's so sweet. That's awesome. Thank you. I'm so glad. I love the story. I hope she finds her dad. Yes, thank you, Bianca. You gotta, yeah, you gotta find out. Hopefully she will. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Alyssa, I think I honestly remember signing your book because I remember because like whenever there's like a person that is named Alyssa, I always remember it because that's the name of the character. So yeah, I'm so glad you're still here. Nice to see you again. So hello. But yeah, glad you guys like it. Yeah. That's really motivating for me because I'm like halfway through editing the first book. So comments like this, yeah, they make me so happy. Oh, I see my friend Wilson has joined. Oh my God, thanks, Wilson. Thanks for joining. Oh, Bianca says, I love the detail. It's so good. Oh, amazing. I'm so glad, Bianca. That makes me so happy. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I think my writing has obviously improved. I'm 22 now, so my writing has definitely changed since I was like 12. So yes, I think it's definitely a good change. And I'm so happy that you guys are supporting me. But yeah, it's almost 2 p.m. and I'm going to sign off in a minute. And I'm sure you all have stuff to do with your day. But again, if you want to be an ARC reader and get the books for free, among other stuff, feel free to sign up in the Google form, or you can DM me if you don't have a Google account. And then again, if I've already talked to you about it, then you don't need to fill out the form. Bianca asks, "What year does this book take place?" And this book takes place now in the year like 2021. So yeah, Alyssa is in high school in 2021. But like coronavirus doesn't exist. That's like that doesn't exist in this world. Yeah, but yeah, it takes place now. Good question. Yes. All right. Let me just see if there's anything else I missed. I don't think so. Um, okay. Yeah, I don't think I missed anything else. All right, I'm going to sign off now. Thank you guys so much again. Yeah, it really means the world to me when a bunch of you come out on these live streams. I love talking to my readers. So yeah, it's just always the best. Always feel free to DM me. I will definitely get back to you. I have one last question from Sabrina, and she asks, "When will you have your next live?" I can do these lives more frequently if you guys want. Maybe I can do one in about 3 weeks, and I can read the second chapter of this first book because it will be done the fastest. It will be done in like the end of June. So yeah, I will do a live in 3 weeks, so near the end of June. So come back for that. And yeah, it'll be really cool. We can hang out. Maybe we can do like a more chill live stream, and we can just like hang out on YouTube or Instagram. But yeah, sounds good, guys. Hopefully, I'll see you all soon, and I hope you have an amazing day. I love you all. Thank you for joining, and yeah, hopefully, see you soon. Okay, I'm gonna end the live stream on sorry, on YouTube first. So if you're on YouTube, I'm gonna end it now. Thank you so much, guys.